Touring Cars 500, finale round 4 at Sepang International Raceway. Hello there everybody and welcome to Opafed Gaming. I am the Opafed. Today we're driving a Honda NSX-GT in our Pro Touring Cars part of the season. We're in a Touring Cars 500 event and we're driving at the Sepang International Raceway in Malaysia. I hope I pronounced that right. If not, I apologize. We're on the full track for 3 laps. We're driving during the day with looks like cloudy skies to me. And we start at 22nd of 22nd where we are still driving. Now these laps are decent length. They're going to take a little bit of time to do. So we got time to survey the track, refamiliarize ourselves, and get used to the way the car drives again if you haven't been driving it for a while. I've driven this little Honda quite a bit, and I do quite like the way it responds and drives on the track. So I'm having a great time running this race. Now, in the very first lap, as you're refamiliarizing yourself with everything, it's always good to try and pick off a few cars here and there. You don't have to get too crazy, but if you can go from 22 to say number 15 or 16 anywhere, then you're doing okay, because by the time you get to the second lap, everybody will have thinned out a little bit like they are starting to do now, and then you have more room to pass. At the beginning of the race and in the very first lap, the cars always kind of plug up the track a little bit, and it makes it a little bit difficult to pass. So having a little bit of patience in the first lap is really a good thing when you're racing in these races. Now we are driving in grid legends, and we do have to be careful of the other fact that sometimes cars will spin out in front of us when they hit another car, or when they don't take the turn right, or whatever happens. Sometimes nothing happens and they spin out. But in the meantime, what you got to watch out for is that they don't take you out in the process and the accident at the same time. So keep an eye out for that, for any kind of chaos in front of you, and try to avoid it best you can. I know I haven't always been successful, and you know, every once in a while you just don't have a choice. But you do the best you can. Now as we're coming around the corner here, another straight stretch, a great place for passing. Not a lot of competition. These guys are just no match for the Opafed and his Honda NSX. And as we're starting our second lap, now we don't have to go too crazy or drive too chaotic, because we know that our only competition is right there in front of us. And it looks like these two are going to battle it out a little bit to see who's going to be number one. And when you see that happening, best thing to do is just stay back a little bit and just watch them go. Because every once in a while they take each other out, or one becomes a clear winner and zips away, you know, and then you just take past the one that's left over. But in the meantime, you also got to watch the cars in the rearview mirror, because when you are following cars like this and you're driving a little slower, they tend to catch up to you. So you got to try and fight them off at the same time. That's quite a bit of stuff you got to think about while you're racing, and you got to think about having fun, because that's the most important part in these races, as long as we're having fun. So we're going to keep chasing these guys down here, and we're coming up pretty close to the end of this lap. So try and stay with them as close as you can. Oh, he zipped. Oh, see, he spun around and there was nobody around, and he just took the turn a little bit too fast, a little bit too much throttle, and the back end of the car broke and spun him around and took himself out of the race for us. Bad for him, good for us. His race is done. He won't recoup, and this is what I mean when you're getting close to the front. You got to start driving nice and clean, because anything happens and any competition in behind you will catch up to you and then pass you. So you don't want to do that. In the meantime, we're still trying to catch this one car in front of us, and our competition behind us is catching up to us again, and they keep pushing us. So we gotta move a little bit faster. When we come around this corner, we got that straight section, and we're gonna have to, well, by the time we catch up to them, there might not be enough room left over, so it might be best just to wait until we get around the corner rather than ripping by him and maybe taking a chance of overshooting the corner. We don't want to do that. Have a little patience here again. Stay behind him. Come around the corner with him. You take the corner very nice and safe, and here you got a long straight section that you can have the opportunity to pass him. And we will do just that, because the Opafet wants to win this race just like everybody else. And we're now in the lead. Now normally we don't really care for being in the lead, but we're in the last lap and we're just going to go for it. I'm going to try and drive the last lap as clean as possible and just enjoy the graphics of this race. It's just absolutely fantastic. It never ceases to amaze me when we are driving some of these video games and how realistic it is and how great it looks, you know. And then the car itself too is a wonderful little car to drive. Now you still have to slow down on the corners, you know. You can't just go crazy. You got to slow down on the corners, as you will soon find out, because the Opafet doesn't always take his own advice, and sometimes he forgets. But that's okay, you know. We're here to learn. We just keep doing, and we try and get better every time we play. So we're gonna come around the corner here. We're getting pretty close to the end of this lap. There's not a lot of time left, so we're almost finished with this race. Boy, I tell you, I really enjoyed this race. Would be better if we could learn how to stay on the track, but it drives much better on the pavement than it does on the grass or on the gravel. I can tell you that from experience. As we're coming around this corner here, take the corner a little bit too fast. Oh, almost drove off the track there, but managed to catch it just in time. So we're doing okay still, but disaster always has a fun way of coming when least expected. As we overshoot the corner here and end up in the gravel, the Opafet still makes a few mistakes as he goes along, but he has a lot of fun doing it. Boy, I tell you, I really enjoyed this part of the race, even the part where I drove off the track, and I hope you enjoyed watching. Hope to see you back at Opafet Gaming again real soon. Until then, you've been driving at the Sepang International Raceway in a Honda NSX-GT with me, the Opafet.